Can you tell us anything whatsoever?
Come on, I know you just give us. One more station.
Welcome back to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel. I am the Reverend Rav. He is Beer Buddy, and we are joined by Chris from Hidden Intent. It's part of our Metal to the Max series. This has been going on for quite a while now. This is the second last week. Next week's the last week, and then Metal to the Max is on, so you need to get your tickets. But we are going to run through the Quick Question Quarter right now with Chris. Now, this Quick Question Quarter, by the way, spelt with Q's, not K's, because we don't roll like that.
Yeah.
Almost forgot the catchphrase, man. I almost forgot what's going on. I almost forgot the catchphrase. Oh, my God.
Someone made a joke about it last week.
Yeah, this is just a bunch of, it starts out rapid fire, nice, easy ones. They get a little bit more introspective as we get further along, so we'll see how we go.
Ooh.
But the idea is that we're trying to dive into Chris's mental, musical mind and figure out what makes him tick. So
not much going on there, I can tell you that.
I mean, you are a bass player, so you know.
I sing as well, but you know,
yeah. Look,
I do two things.
I'm a bass player. I can say that's fine.
I sing and play bass, or do I play bass and sing?
All right. So, what was the first instrument that you learned to play? And vocals does count here.
Actually, it was technically drums, but I didn't learn how to play it. I kind of tried to play it, and then I went, this is too hard. Now try and combine the kick with the snare and the hat together in time. And I'm like, I just had, really lacked that coordination. So then, it was bass. I picked up a bass, and it felt natural. Didn't feel too hard, and there's something about it that just clicked. I think I tried drums and guitar, and then wasn't until I found bass and I went, this is more my thing. Maybe it was all the drooling I was doing on the bass while I was playing it. I don't know.
Look, you pick up a good bass, and it's hard not to drool. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's right.
First time I picked up the Ernie Ball Music Man, I was like, it was a moment. What was the first album that you purchased?
Oh. I reckon it was potentially maybe like purchased. Had a lot of gifted albums to me, but purchased maybe even like Nirvana Bleach.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I reckon it might have been Nirvana's Bleach or maybe a Foo Fighters album like One by One.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty big too. One of those.
Nice. Look, those are some good first albums to have purchased, man. I like that. What was your first live concert?
Love answering this one. The Living End when I was 14, playing at Thebby Theatre was sick, man. It was awesome. Not really my thing, but like I went with a mate who was obsessed with them. And we went down and had an absolute ball. One of the most intense mosh pits I've ever been in as well to this day.
The second he starts playing a solo with the VB bottle, I'm just like, these are my people.
Look, I mean, I can still remember like, the occasional school disco or whatever, and whenever, Prisoner of Society, Second Solution, those ones would come on, and didn't matter what crew you were a part of, if you were in with the cool kids or not, if you were like a jock, a nerd, the fucking, whatever, everyone was singing along and jumping around to those ones, man. That was a
song of a generation, bro. That was an Australian song of a generation.
It is, man. Oh, I love it. Love that. That was so good. I'm still, I've not had the privilege to see them live ever, unfortunately.
Dude.
But, so I'm insanely jealous.
Prisoner of Society still goes hard. I don't care. That song will never age.
Oh, it's a cracker.
And that drummer from that album, he lives in Adelaide, Travis Dempsey. He's actually a youth worker, and I did one of my artist management talks at his council youth centre thing, and I was like, dude, the whole time I just didn't click that he was, because he was just dressed differently, that he was the original drummer of The Living End, and I was like, bro, I saw you play like when I was like fucking a teen, like unreal.
That's awesome. That's so cool. What's an instrument you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet?
Oh, you know what, man? I really like to learn to play drums, or I'm gonna say guitar because I'd like to be able to write some more riffs would be kind of cool. Like writing on a bass is cool, but I think being able to write them on a guitar and actually, have the sound of the riff properly through a proper amp and everything, that would be cool. So I'd probably have to say guitar. But does lighting count? It's not an instrument, but I really want to learn how to do lighting. I did it the other night at a gig, and I'm like, man, I'd love to learn how to do this properly.
It really is lighting.
It is a
proper show concert lighting is just like sound mixing. It's good lighting can take a show, up a level or two. You know what I mean? Like it really can. Like if you think about some incredible shows that you've seen, like, great. Look, if you were to see Metallica and they had the fucking 4-color school disco lights, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be quite the same as like the big laser light show and the whole deal, right? Like it adds
There's
a lot.
only one band that can get away with it, and that's really Rage Against the Machine. It's just blue. Just needs to be a blue light.
Yeah,
it just looks amazing.
Just blue.
Tom Morello and a blue light. I'm just like, oh, I'm sold.
Yeah, at least it's not red. Red lighting sucks. I hate red lighting in
especially
photos.
when you're
they look
filming.
terrible.
Look, I've been guilty of that a couple of times. I've run lighting rigs. I tend to default to red lighting a lot, and I'm sorry if I've ever done lights for your gig, or you've ever photographed or filmed a gig that I've done lights for. I apologize. Okay, here's a good one. Now, look, you've been able to tour with and open for quite a number of awesome bands over the years. If you could pick one big band or artist to open a show for, who would it be?
Like we're still opening up, right? Yeah. I would have to be just collectively for me and the boys, even though I'm a bit love-hate with the band, probably Metallica. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because, the influence on the band and everything, they were the band that got me into the thrash world, it sort of turned me from like rock alternative guy to metalhead. So even if I have a bit of love-hate with the band as far as like the Metallica fan base, just being only into them and nothing else.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So there's a segment of the Metallica fan base that is like the Slayer fan base in that way.
Correct.
There is.
Yes, only Slayer, only Metallica. I've been wearing this shirt since like their tour 2 years ago, and I'm this is all I listen to.
They've had the shirt since like 1997, and it's more holes than shirt, but they won't throw it away because they bought it at a Metallica concert.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is who is an artist or a band that you're listening to at the moment that you think is underrated and deserves more attention?
Oh, do you know what, man? And I will say this, the new Flotsam and Jetsam material, I think is absolutely unbelievable. But for some reason, that band, even we played with them once too, and I've seen their live show. They've got the former Alice Cooper drummer now, who's absolutely incredible, is playing. But I think, Flotsam and Jetsam's later material kind of gets a bit overlooked a bit, I find. Everyone reverts to their early stuff, and Jason Newsted, and he was in the band before he went to Metallica. That's so that everyone hones in on that when I mentioned the band. But like, nah, man, their last few albums have been top shelf. They've covered all the bases. So Flotsam and Jetsam, later material.
A lot of those bands from like that came up through that era are like, if they're not in sort of the top, 5 or 6 bands from that time period, a lot of people just, they're not on their radar. And much like with the Sepultura thing that we talked about, like there's a lot of these bands that you hear about that you maybe haven't listened, that a lot of people maybe haven't listened to, that they really, really should. Like, I'll be honest, for the longest time, I was sleeping on Anthrax. Like, I knew the reputation, but I had just not ever actually listened to them. And oh boy, was I a fucking idiot for not doing that? Or like, dude, bands like Testament and Exodus and all these other bands from that came up in that time period that you probably know the names of, but a lot of people maybe haven't necessarily listened to them, that have listened to bands like like they came up at the same time as Slayer and Metallica and Megadeth and all this stuff, and they just don't get the love. I'm like, that people are missing out on this stuff. Like,
but that's because the same time though, you got to think that was the most popular music in that era. So radio had a lot to fucking do with that shit as well.
Yeah, different era, different time.
Yeah, it's not like now where when you're a metalhead, because we don't have any mainstream outlet anymore. It's like half the pleasure of being a metalhead is trying to out nerd your friend and trying to find the band that they don't know about, so you deep dive even harder and like,
or it's algorithm based, right? Like
yeah,
you listen
or
to something
yeah.
and then Spotify says, "Hey, try this," and you go,
Yep.
"Fuck, I've discovered a new band," but it's because of an algorithm, not so much because of like radio press or anything like that. It's not as official now. It's very like just sort of underground
catered more
robot
to
kind of
you.
vibes going on. Yeah, 100%. Motorhead was exactly the same for me, man. Like I saw them live. I was really drunk and I can't remember a lot of it, which I'm really, regret that now. But then ended up did the full ADHD obsession with them later on in life, and now playing a Motorhead tribute. Like they're one of those bands that I completely overlooked and didn't get into them until a lot later. So
okay, so I'll throw an extra question in there for you since you're talking about Motorhead there. What is your favorite underrated Motorhead song?
Overnight Sensation.
Okay, I will have to
Crickets.
find. I'll have to find that one. I'll have to find that one because
tumbleweed. Did we get a tumbleweed emoji somewhere?
Yeah, because like for me, I love going back to that first album with like with the song like Motorhead or like Vibrator and those kind of ones on there. You know,
I'm
self-titled.
Like
the self-titled, like that to me is like a lot of there's a lot of songs on there that I really dig, but
a lot more punk on that one. Definitely a punk approach.
very, and like the way that
Bomber's my favorite.
The way the drums sort of emulate a motorcycle engine in a couple of spots on brilliant stuff. Really, really cool stuff. What is something people may be surprised to learn about you?
So probably that even though I can be pretty lax kind of guy, that I do get a little bit stressed out when things aren't organized and overly fixate on certain things. And people were very surprised by that when they see that, or I tell them that. They're like, man, I just didn't think you would get stressed out about. I remember one guy was like, man, I didn't think you would get nervous before you play now because you've been doing it for so long. And I'm like, dude, if I wasn't getting nervous before I play, there'd be something wrong. That would be that would mean I don't care. I'd be like, yeah, whatever, man. Done this a few times before. Yawn, like.
The day that happened, that happened to me, I quit.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
The day I think we played a show in Wollongong and I just did not want to be there. And I was just like, nah, I'm out. Okay. I'm out. Yeah. Hardest decision I ever had to make in my life. But yeah, it was just, nah.
What
band was that, man?
I was in a band called Exist Within.
Okay.
Back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, it was weird.
With the most handsome bass player you have ever seen, by the way. Like his bass player looks like Brad Pitt. I swear to God, it's like piercing blue eyes.
And then to add insult
all the chicks lined up for him on the side of stage.
He's a firefighter as well. So now with the group with the cool mustache. So he just looks amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Timmy.
Hey, go, Randy.
All right. Last question here. Now, you may have heard me reference myself as the Reverend Raph. I am an ordained minister. I legitimately am. I can use Reverend as my legal title. I can perform wedding ceremonies and all of that good stuff. So with that in mind, it is confession time. Chris, what is your worst music sin?
Worst music sin, like something I do.
You can interpret that question. Bad. You can interpret that question however you like.
Yeah. Like someone that I'd like that I wouldn't want to tell anyone about.
Up to you. If you want to take it that way, you can take it that way. If it's either like you can think of it like this, right?
And your soul,
Yeah. As soon as I asked the question, you knew what the answer was.
Something came into your head.
The person that came into my head is probably my love or at least appreciation for metal, music would probably be like, I just you guys are going to laugh at this. But hey, some good songwriting there is a bit of Kylie Minogue, mate.
Hey.
A bit of Kylie, grew up on it.
I've been known to do the locomotion.
even some of her latest stuff, I'm like, man, that is so, I love the catchiness of it. I'm like, that is so catchy and memorable how she just did that simple thing. I know it's just got a whole team of producers and all that. Same deal for Coldplay as well. People get like Coldplay. I'm a huge Radiohead fan as well, usually like one or the other, but I do appreciate some of Coldplay stuff as well, particularly when I was at TAFE, just studying music, everyone raved about Coldplay. So
Yeah.
They actually got
definitely
voted as one of the
that.
best songwriters in the world at the moment. They're just
Dude,
their
they're one of their
songwriting,
latest
that.
songs.
yeah,
Oh,
their songwriting is off the
unbelievable,
hook.
you know.
Okay, then quick
yeah.
question for you. I'll throw another one at you then, just real there. At the time of recording, the Oasis reunion has just been announced.
Yeah, dude.
What's your what's your thoughts on that?
Are they going to play Wonderwall? Because they've said they won't in the past.
I would
right?
laugh so hard if they don't play Wonderwall. I'm sorry, I will
They
laugh
have
so
to
hard
do
if they
it.
don't.
They would have to do it. It's like, Nirvana if they were still around. It's almost like Teen Spirit.
Fuck off.
They'd have to
I'm
play
not playing Wonderwall. Fuck off.
because he won't play it because of his ex-wife or something. Is that what it
I
is?
have
It's
no
a
idea.
song
fair,
he
they said
wrote about
They
his
said
ex-wife.
they'd never play a
and
show
that's why he
together
doesn't play
again,
it.
so all bets are off. at the
Yeah,
moment,
there
as
you
far as I'm
go.
concerned.
There's a bit of a cash grab there, obviously, as well. Let's be honest. But hey, look, you know what? If you're a raging Oasis fan, you'd be pretty stoked and probably gonna buy a case of beer to celebrate. So you know what? Whatever happens.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for bearing your soul in the quick question quarter. It is greatly appreciated. I know we love coming in blind. We love people going in blind with that one because some of those questions kind of catch them off guard, which
that's
is
cool.
the best part of it. It's very, very
Music's
fun.
sin. Oh man, you had me there.
Well, to
I was
be
like,
fair,
it could be.
if any of the guests were actually smart, they'd just go watch the video and write down the questions because we
Yeah,
asked all the
yeah.
same
People have watched previous videos. You know what
there you go. No,
and
it's
see,
cool.
that's the thing.
Organic.
That's how we know because people will be like, "Yeah, I've watched a couple of your videos before, blah blah blah," and then we get to the quick question quarter, and they're just like, "Oh, if you really watched it, that's how we know. Don't lie."
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, mate. Look, this has been amazing chatting to you. Really, really appreciate you taking some time today. As I said, we will be catching you in person out at Metal to the Max. Tickets are available now. I think there's still some available. Get them while you can. It's not that long until the thing. It really isn't that long until the thing. This video is coming out on a Saturday. If you haven't got your tickets now, we've got like barely a week.
A week and a bit.
You have like a week, I think, to get them. So
Oztix, right? Oztix.
Yeah, we'll have the link.
Oztix.
We'll have the link in the description. So make sure you get them. Don't miss out. This is going to be a very, very special event. You'll be able to catch Chris with his band Hidden Intent, as well as 29 other amazing bands across 2 days at the Mad Max compound out at Silverton near Broken Hill. That's Chris from Hidden Intent. That's Beer Buddy. I'm the Reverend Raph. You've been amazing. We'll see you guys next time. Stay cool.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much for watching today's video. We really hope you had a good time with us. If you did, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down there and ring that bell so you get notified of all the videos we've got coming out. And we do also have a Patreon. If you're interested, you can head on over there. You can get all the videos early and ad-free. A little bit of a benefit. It's only a couple of bucks a month. But if not, thank you very much for watching anyway, and we'll catch you guys next time.